It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. Well, you know, normally the way I like to do these Saturday night specials is throughout the week, I kind of just jot down a little list of my ideas and I come out here and I just free flow talk about things. Not this week, however. I do have a couple of things I want to talk about, but you know, I kind of started to make a list this week, and I kind of don't want to do any of it. I just kind of want to hang out here with you, and let's talk about some rocks. I have an interesting observation to share with you, and we'll just have this one be a nice, chill, not so deep episode this week. Well, the Hackmite. Couple of things. Well, first off, this is like a Perky Plus case here, right? You know, when I say a Perky Plus, we have normal size and the big size. This, I got a couple of specimens from my buddy Curtis. So let's pull these labels out here. I got this nice little perfect piece of quartz from Arkansas from him. Very kind of him to gift me a couple of specimens. I do like little specimens. And then a piece of dravite. That little crystal right there. Now, it's kind of hard to tell here with this piece, but it's actually kind of orange. It's kind of orange. Yeah, look at that. Are we gonna focus? Well, anyways, it is very nice of him to have gifted me a couple of specimens. Real quick though, I want to show you something. So this is mounted in here, and I use mineral tack. That's that like little white stuff right there, and it's very, very good. A couple of people have commented that it's not sturdy enough, but still very fixed in there. This is the piece of Hackmite, which is sodalite, and I have been very happy exploring the world of UV lights. And just for fun, we'll load this guy up here, and we will watch it turn colors right before your eyes. Charge this up, get this thing nice and purple. And by the time we are done here, I'm sure it will have mostly faded and we'll have no more purple on there. So, it's really been quite interesting for me to both have this light and just kind of more deep dive into the subject, and that's, you know, it really allows me to re-explore the collection in a way. Otherwise you just can't. You can't understand the fluorescence of rocks and minerals without having the UV lights, right? I did do some cutting this week. Cut some stuff from Montana. I didn't polish any of it. This is just like an end cut right here. But let's check some of these out. I think they came out looking pretty good. I, of course, I need more time for basically everything. This slab right here came out looking pretty good, I think. We do have a crack going through the middle, which that is, of course, unfortunate. I wonder if I can snap it. Can I snap it? Yeah. Okay. So I just... now we have our more proper slab. But yeah, very, very cool. Very... we got some ribboning in there, which is nice. I'll use those for a thing at some point in the future. When we got some dendrites in there and we got some pluming. Some waterline. You can kind of see the waterline on the exterior here. But that's a good cut. And then lastly, this one, which Kate suggested that I give a cut to, where we're this very clear limb casting That one's kind of nice too. Kind of happy with these. These will be good projects. That's just the end cut of that over there, so not in particularly special. Whew, cold hands out here, cold hands. We're obviously, it's wintertime now. I saw something kind of interesting that I wanted to share with you. Let's get this kind of dry here. All right, so I probably spend a little bit too much time even on places like some of the Facebook groups about rockhounding, because it does help to kind of keep your finger on the pulse. And like it or not, a large number of rockhounds use Facebook groups as like their community, their primary source for asking questions and things like that. Well, I've really kind of made a mental list over the years of the different things that people have said, and I came across something pretty good. I came across this. Now, this is Sarah's book. This is one of the Reader Digest's Crafts and Hobbies book. If you've never seen anything like this, Reader's Digest used to put out these books, and they're just kind of like a do-it-all kind of whatever. You know, there's ones for home repairs, like how to fix your washing machine, and on and on and on. Well, you see what's on the cover there? Yeah, those are some cabochons. I've seen so many questions about cutting and polishing rocks. And in here, there's a little chapter about lapidary. If we turn to, let's see, was it page 318? I believe it was 318. Now, what I find interesting is that this couple of pages in here covers about like 80% of the questions that I have ever seen asked online. It gives like a little overview of the history. We talk about some of the different tools in here. Now, mind you, this is from 1979. So, yeah. Well, I do like the illustrations in here are pretty good. We have our little step-by-step guide on making a cabochon, which I mean, I've seen so many cabochons that don't have any back bezel. I think a lot of people, they're purists, would say that's not a cabochon. We have like some nice little step-by-step here. One thing that I find interesting about the step-by-step, okay? You know, nowadays we have tons of grits at our disposal, tons of laps. You know, cabochon machines have 6 wheels, and then you have like a finished buffing on the end probably. So really you have like seven wheels. So here, 100 grit wheel, 220 grit wheel, 320 grit wheel, a pre-polish with a slurry, and then a final cerium oxide. So 3 grinding, and then like pre-polish and polish, which for the longest time, I really thought like, oh, you got to have every single grit, every single wheel. And one of the more valuable things that I now have it for kind of like my own education and conveying some of these ideas to people would be this. Now, this isn't universal. This doesn't apply to all stones, all things, but I do find it very interesting that on one side here, this was polished up to a 60 grit silicon carbide and then straight to polish, and that is it. No 220, 320, 600, 1200, 3000. I think people might be spending too much time, me, myself included, too much time with too much at our disposal. Moving right along. 220 silicon carbide, and then cerium oxide on the carpet wheel. $400, and then cerium oxide on the carpet wheel, which that's essentially what that book is saying. I think they said 320, but so 80, 220, 400 cerium oxide, and that is our polish. Is it possible that we as lapidaries are making a mistake trying to do too much too soon? I mean, I think there's some real value to learning how to drive and learning how to drive a manual. Of course, that doesn't happen anymore. But maybe less wheels to start and add them as you see fit. Now, we're not going to look at the 600, 800 here. We're going to look right over at the 3000. So it's important to point out that if you were buying cab wheels, right? What are these, like $100-something each grit? So it really adds up. Do you need to take something to the 3000, all the way up to 3000 before polishing? I mean, man, those look pretty close. I think, to my eye, the 3000 is slightly better, but you could really get away from that. I just find it so interesting to look at what could be accomplished, or what was accomplished, with far fewer wheels. Maybe we are overcomplicating things here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Well, this past week went out to white fur, and we, it was kind of not the best. I did find a couple of things that I polished up that I was happy with. So this right here, I would say is an acceptable polish. And I didn't use every single grit in the world to get it. Now, that video, man, okay, so here's the thing. You, a watcher here on this channel, me, a creator of videos on YouTube, and, a consumer of the videos as well, we have all seen videos that were like, how did that get so many views? That's not very good. That's not a great video. And my white fur video, I almost didn't even upload. I would say that video, as far as my happiness with it, was like a C+ video. It conveyed the information I wanted to convey, but it wasn't great. Well, that video is getting tons and tons of views, but not by you guys, not by the people that regularly watch these videos. It is simply being held up by the YouTube algorithm and being force-fed to viewers. And I kind of don't like it. And I've actually contemplated taking that video down simply because it's drawing attention to the video and to the channel from outsiders that have no idea what we're trying to work on here. I've had comments over there they're just out there, just like people that aren't serious rock people, people have been like, that's Bigfoot territory, and just kind of some really wacky out there comments from people I don't recognize their usernames. And I read all the comments down there. I recognize people. And it just goes to show that here on YouTube, despite what anybody says, it is not a fair platform. And garbage content or low-tier content can get lots of views. And there's not a direct relationship between viewership and quality. And my own video here is a perfect example of that, right? It's not a great video, but certainly scooping up the views. And they're not the views I want, though. They're not. Views don't matter anything at all on the platform. Things like retention, engagement, these are things that, really matter. Like people that watch the whole video and leave comments, and we help each other here. And, maybe somebody will be like, oh, I have another Reader's Digest book, and it has a lot of stuff about lapidary and jewelry in it. And then I find it, and we have that kind of give and take. That's the important thing. Not hollow vanity metrics. I think it's easy, both in lapidary and here on YouTube, to anytime you have something that you might deem good or successful, to attribute it to your own hard work. And anytime something doesn't go well, you look for external factors, like, oh, my video's not performing well. Oh man, that's like the YouTube algorithm not supporting it. or my polishing didn't go well, you know, it's because of my inadequate machines. And the reality is kind of it's somewhere in the middle. The YouTube algorithm can dish up a lot of views for a video that are not warranted and force the video in front of people's eyeballs. You can have the best machines in the world and perform poorly. You know, you can rush through it. You can have the best machines in the world and do the very best. But it's, are you attributing the wins to yourself and the losses to external factors? You know, the video in question here, which is getting a lot of views, it's not because of anything I did. It's not because of the people that subscribe to the channel. It's simply YouTube being like, we're gonna whitelist this and we're gonna put you up on our shoulders and give you a piggyback ride to success. I did do a little bit of polishing this week. This Canyon Rim Thunder Egg right here. So there is some more Central Oregon rockhounding videos from this past summer in the works, still yet to come. So stay tuned for that. I do have some fun UV stuff still in the works. That's coming this next week. And I think with that said, we'll leave this one here, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being part of the channel here. Go check out the website if you haven't been there lately, currently rockhounding.com. I'm always trying to add new stuff, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Almost forgot to show you this. The purple's all faded out. Isn't that cool? Love this thing. All right, now we're actually done.